Hello, everyone. I'm almost late to my own live stream. was finishing my workout and then trying to get something to eat there before I got here. So let's see. There's no one here yet, so hopefully, there might be a little bit of lag. Oh, there we go. 13 people. How you all doing tonight? Let me see if chat. I'm not seeing any chat messages here. Give me a hey in the chat if you're around and you can hear me. Let me see here. Not seeing anything in the chat. Maybe I have to enable chat or something. Josh, you around? Can you see if the chat, something's going on with the chat? Oh, you know what it might be? I wonder if we can't chat in here. I'm seeing chat is disabled. All right, let me see here. I might be able to turn on chat. We won't have much of a Q&A if you can't ask questions, will we? It'll just be me just riffing for just like a regular YouTube video. Let's see here. There must be some setting to turn on chat. I'll probably get like 15 emails in a second here. I am not seeing it. Enable live chat. Hey, look at that. All right, let's see what we see now. Live chat is enabled. I saved it. Live control room. This is what I get for not doing Hangouts, right? Oh, here we go. I see the live chat. Ah, it's on a different screen. There we go. Hey. All right, everyone. All right. Okay, so technical difficulties. That wasn't too bad though. If you've ever presented at a developer conference, this was like on a scale of technical difficulty, fiasco, crazy bullshit. This was like a 2 out of 10. So how's everyone doing tonight? All right. Let me see here. I want to make Josh the moderator here. So I think, Josh, if you could throw up something in the chat window, and then I think I can maybe right click on you. No, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there's something. Okay, yeah, I can. All right. So Josh, if you can hear me, Josh Earl, put a message up in the chat window for me, and then I can make you a moderator. And we'll get started here in a second here. Let some people pour in. We got 227. All right. Let's see. I can't stop being racist, please. See, this is why we're probably going to need a moderator. Hey, Gregios. Man, 4:04 a.m. You are awesome. I appreciate you, bro. thanks for and UK. Hey, Bowsim. You guys are really dedicated. Let me all right, we'll get started in a second here. I just want to make sure I get moderation. Last time I did a live stream, I didn't have a moderator, and we had a problem. I think someone was cursing at me and then saying that I needed Jesus. They're like, "Fuck you, you need Jesus," and then complaining. I don't remember who that person was, but oh, there we go. Stop exploiting people. Hey, Suresh, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? From Boise. All right. Yeah, I don't see. I guess Josh hasn't found the chat. All right. Well, we'll see how it goes, and if we start to have some problems, then I'll have to, you know what, here's someone I trust. Let me see here. All right, I assigned a moderator. So, all right. So, book launch. Let's go over that. We'll start with the book launch, and I'm going to open it for some Q&A. So, first of all, here's the thing. The book is doing awesome. I want to check the current stats here on the book launch, and it looks like, hold on, Josh says he posted in chat. I didn't see it. All right, it's all right. Josh, spam chat. Hey, Ted, what's up, man? Okay. I don't see anything, so we're just going to go on. All right, so anyway, here's the deal. So book launch, let's talk about that real quick, just to give an update for all of you that have been following. Thank you, first of all, for the support with the book launch. It's been pretty freaking awesome. I can't believe how high that the book went up in the rankings. We're sitting right now at 548 in all of books on Amazon for the print version of the Complete Software Developer's Career Guide. So that's pretty awesome. But what's even more awesome is that the Kindle version of the book is sitting at 34 in all of the Kindle store on Amazon. It is #1 in the business and money category in all of Amazon. It's #4 in all of nonfiction books in all of Amazon, including non-Kindle books. #1 in technology, basically #1 in just about every category that it's in. So that is awesome. So thank you all for supporting me with this. And thanks to Josh, especially for all the work he's done on this. If you guys don't know who Josh is, he's awesome. He is my right-hand man. He is the marketing guru behind what we've done with the book launch, and just a straight up awesome dude. He's also my business partner here at Simple Programmer, which I'll have a video coming out actually talking about that a little bit. So, all right, with that said, I do have one request for you guys. I mean, obviously, if you haven't bought the book already, go buy it 99 cents on Kindle. I mean, if you want to get the print version, I don't know if you've seen this as well. If you buy 3 print versions with the Kindle and send me the receipt, I'll send you the audio book as soon as it's released, which will be early. It's, you know, audiobook will go for like 29 bucks or whatever it does on Audible. So, you know, go do that if you know, if you're going to buy the audio version anyway, you might as well do that. And just so you guys know, I'm not making shit off the books. It's literally costing us the same amount to print the book as it is that we're selling it, and the Kindle we're selling for 99 cents and getting a 30-cent commission off of it. So the point is not to make a shit ton of money on the book. It is to get it into people's hands, and that's why I want to move copies. I want to get it up in the Amazon rankings and get it really get it distributed and to be successful with the book. That's the point of the book. So yeah, and if you want to buy 30 copies of the print book, like I've got some promotions, some specials, check out the YouTube video where I've got that in the comment section, and 300 will get me to speak at your event. So okay, no, it's not on audio yet. It will be coming out. I have to record the audio version of the book. So there you go. So yeah, so that's pretty damn exciting. Really cool stuff there. And I got one favor to ask from all of you. I know a lot of you that are in the chat right now that you left a review. I mean that you bought the book. So if you could do me a favor, take 5 minutes, just leave a review on if you like the book. I mean, if you didn't like the book, don't leave a review. All right, but no, if you did like the book, then just like leave a review. And I know it's a pain in the ass, and like I know people always tell me, oh, like leave a review, and then you know I'm like, whatever, I don't want to leave a review on something. But the thing is, like, if you leave a review, that will help us to get all of the marketing that we're doing to make it more effective, because we still have email blasts going out to some big email newsletters for software developers that are going to come out like on Friday. And so if we have more reviews, it'll be more social proof and more people will buy, and you'll be spreading the love, and you'll be helping me out, and I would appreciate it. So leave a review if you don't mind. I would greatly appreciate that. Now, with that said, let's get to some questions. So this is the fun. We're here to ask some questions. So who's got a question? Ask some questions. I'll be pulling some questions here. Hey, Andre. Got to read the book first. Well, you don't got to read the book first. You could just skim the book, read some of it, leave a review. You can always come back and edit the review. So Will it be on Google Play eventually? It's exclusive to Kindle right now with the Amazon, that KDP program. Does the book have interview questions? It does not, but the bonus material does. And there's bonus material, $170 pack. I put together bonus material that's worth more than the book. So that you get for free when you get the book. All right, let's see. You need to destroy your traps at least twice a week, please. I don't want to have freaking ridiculous traps. All right. When you say in the book entry level and junior is for suckers, what did you mean? Oh, okay. This is a good question. So I'm going to answer this question here. So in the book, I said that entry level jobs and the title of junior is for suckers. So what did I mean by that? What was I talking about? Well, okay, you don't have to start off as a software developer getting a junior position as junior software developer or entry level position. It's kind of ridiculous because you know what? Developers, as soon as they have 2 or 3 years of experience, guess what their job title is? It's senior software engineer or senior software developer. It's kind of ridiculous, right? To start off at the bottom when you don't need to, okay? And I'll tell you something else. Everyone who starts out as a software developer, what do they think that they need to apply for? They need to look for junior position, right? That's what they look for. They look for entry level or junior position. So how competitive is entry level or junior position, right? It's very competitive. It's not a good place to be, right? You don't want to be competing there. So just go straight to developer, right? Or hell, I know a lot of developers that have gone straight to their first job, senior software engineer or senior developer, just by applying to the job. Ricky is a good example. He just said, so true, my first job is just developer. And Ricky, if you've seen his story, Ricky's a smart guy, by the way. He sends me some video questions. I've responded to some of his video questions. But you know, take it from someone like Ricky. Honestly, like, do not go after the junior developer jobs. It's not a good idea. It just, like, you could just get into a developer job where you're going to have less competition, and plus you're going to get paid peanuts, right? I mean, how much, when someone makes a junior developer position, you got to think, what are they thinking in their head? Okay, why would you want to hire a junior developer? There's only one reason, really, but there's only 2 reasons I can think of that you'd want to hire a junior developer, that you'd ever open up a junior developer position. One of them is that you don't have budget and you want to pay someone peanuts, right? So I can't afford a real developer, so I'm going to take a junior developer. That's not a good place. That's not a good reason to apply for a junior developer job, right? That's going to suck. And then the second reason is because they're like, oh, it's some kind of liberal bullshit, and they're like, oh, we need to like let people start off at the beginning and we'll make you want to work in that kind of a bullshit environment where they don't care about performance and results and they just care about giving people opportunities? I'm sorry, but that's not going to be a great work environment. You're not going to learn a lot and grow a lot there. So fuck that. That's what I say. So skip that and just go straight to a regular developer or a senior position even. I mean, they're giving out senior software engineer titles like they're candy. All right. So let's see. What do we got here? I got a ton of questions here. Let me see. Back here because of you quasi stupid. It seems I'm changing because of you guys. All right. Let's see. Forget this guy. I don't I don't even know what you guys are. All right. What camera do you use? I just, for my regular camera, is just a T5i. It's hard to sort these questions. How good is let me see. Looking for a good question here. Did I get those muscles from coding? Yes, from coding. You got it from functional programming. Okay, you don't get muscles from procedural programming or object-oriented programming. If you do functional programming, then you'll get guns. All right, that's how you get ripped. All right. How do I come up with topics for the YouTube channel? I know there's so many comments. This is like crazy. Okay, so how do I come up with topics? This is a good question, I think, because not too many people do 2 or 3 YouTube videos a day. So how do I come up with these topics? So there's a couple of things here. So I'll give you sort of the basic, like, where do the ideas and where do the topics come from? And then I'll give you the formula for being able to do this. Okay, so the first one is, where do they come from? Honestly, a lot of it comes from emails that you guys send me, that you ask me questions. If you send me an email asking me a question, my assistant Rodrigo will basically take that and he will send you back a form that you can fill out and ask the question, and it'll go on a Trello board where he sorts it and organizes it. And I look at those questions and I answer a lot of questions through there. I actually don't like to answer questions as much, though, because I like to I don't have any shortage of my own topics. So that Trello board, also, I put my own topics in there. So I read a lot of books, okay? I read probably 2 to 3 books a week. And when I say read, a lot of it is listening to the audio version of the book while I'm running, because I'm usually running about 40 miles a week, all right? And a ton of ideas, right? I don't watch any TV, okay? All I do is basically put good things into me, right? For knowledge, wisdom, whatever I can absorb, and put out as much production as I possibly can. And when you're seeped in that kind of environment, you've got a ton of ideas. You got plenty of ideas, plenty of topics, right? And a lot of this is coming from life experience, right? I mean, as I'm going through my day, as I'm going through shit, as I'm, putting my feet over the fire and seeing how it fucking burns, I'm learning some shit and I'm sharing that. And that's what a lot of my videos end up being, is just what I'm learning. I write a note, I've got my phone, I whip it out, I put it in notes, and I say, oh, I should do a video on this topic. Oh, this thing that I'm struggling with. So that's a lot of how my videos get created. Those are the main sources, I would say. And then the whole thing about, like, how can you come up with ideas and how can you keep on coming up with topics? That's just like, it's just a matter of having a deadline, right? So if you were a journalist, okay, and you worked for the newspaper and you had to write, I mean, today, right, these journalists today, if you can call them journalists today, but these people who write for media agencies today, they have to write sometimes 2 to 3 articles a day. So they just have to do it, and it has to be done by noon. You got to ship out your 3 articles for the day, right? So do they have to say, do they say, oh man, I have writer's block right now, I just can't think of any good ideas or any topics to write? No, they have to do it. They have a deadline. So if you have a deadline, if you make a commitment, you will find a way, right? That's the thing. It's like, if you want to succeed, if you want to accomplish things in life, make the fucking commitment first. And then you will find a way to make that commitment if you have that commitment, right? If you're like, I'll try and get a blog post out this week or once a week, that's bullshit. If you say, you know what, it's shipping at noon on Monday, then it's shipping at noon on Monday. And that's the other way that I do this, is I got to come up with my ideas. So I do. And once you get into the habit of it and the routine of it, it becomes natural and systematic. In fact, you know what? I've got a Trello board that is full of ideas. Like, I've got like a column that's what I'm going to record next. And that column is so packed, I'm like, oh shit, I've got too much stuff that I got to get done, because I'm so in the habit of that. So coming up with ideas, not a problem. Let's see. All right. What do we got here? Let's look for another question. Ricky says he's been putting out 3 YouTube videos a week. That's awesome. Some suck, but you get them out. That's right. Some do suck, right? I mean, you're never going to be on your game all the time. It's just not going to happen, right? Let me see here. What I should do is have someone fielding me the good questions. All right. Hey, John, are you trying to change your taste in t-shirts and shirts? I like the older version of you. I know change is difficult to accept. Yeah, other people are going to always like the old version. Like this is something like, anytime you move to a higher plane, right? Anytime that you change for the positive, people are going to, they're going to get stuck on what you were. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to knock you, but I'm making an improvement for myself. I looked and said, you know what? I need to upgrade my style. I need to upgrade. I need to change. I need to look more like who I am, right? At this point in time. And so you got to decide that thing for yourself, right? And when you do, you got to not worry what other people think. And I always tell people, like, let's say that you want to change something about yourself. For the first 2 weeks, people are going to rag on you, and they're going to be like, oh, you trying to be this? Are you trying to pretend like you're this? I know who you are. And they're going to rag on you. And then after 2 weeks, that'll be the new normal, and they won't ever remember that you were something else. Like that. That's how you get changed. That's how you do. Don't be afraid to change because you're afraid of what other people think. I don't give a shit, right? I'm just going to do what I want to do. All right, let me see some questions here. Do do do. Okay, here's a good one. John, with the book being out, is there still value in your package? How to market yourself as a software developer? It's not cheap, and I imagine it's a lot of overlap. Thank you. So there's basically little overlap between the two things. The software developer's complete software developer's career guide is about the career. It's focused on more on like I'm a career developer. I want to grow as a developer in my career, all the things that you'd face as someone who is probably going to work for someone else, right? That's the idea behind that book and all of those issues. Not that it doesn't go a little bit beyond that and whatnot, but how to market yourself as a software developer it can still be that, right? If you're a career developer, but it's more about how to create a blog, and it's more about how to market yourself and to build up your social media presence, and how to get out there and do podcasting and do all that kind of stuff. It's really, or if you want to do freelancing, it's more of I'm trying to really break through the glass ceiling. So, the complete software developer's career guide for everyone. Everyone should get that and utilize that information regardless of what level that you're at. But how to market yourself is almost more like, it could work early on, but if you really are wanting to like excel beyond the average, that's what that is designed. Like it's going to take a lot more action from you. That's why it's a higher price tag, is because you're going to have to put in more there. But there's a good question. I mean, honestly, like I don't like reuse stuff, like the concepts. And here's the thing: it's like when you hear me talking, right, you're going to find that a lot of what I'm saying is similar. Okay, so but I don't like take the stuff and copy and paste it, right? So some people said, oh, well, so you said some of the stuff in the complete software developer's career guide I've already heard. If I've already listened to your YouTube channel, and this is stuff that John says, and yeah, that's true. But there's going to be a different spin on it. There's always going to be different depth, right? And one thing, like one way that you can share your own growth is you should come back to things that you've had, concepts you've had before, and stories you've had, and concepts, and that you should revise them. You should have a different viewpoint on that over time, right? All right, let me see here. Get some questions. All right, so some interesting questions. Oh, from Shibu Hara, what do you wish someone had told you in your youth, life/career advice, etc.? So that's interesting. So what do I wish someone told me? Okay, I'll tell you what I wish someone told me in my youth. This is what I really wish that someone told me. I wish that someone would have told me that I don't have to follow that the rules are not for you, that the rules are for everyone else and they're not for you, because that's the fucking truth, right? I lived thinking that there was a certain framework, a certain structure, a certain way that things had to be, right? That I needed to go to school and get good grades and go to college and get a job and retire and save money and all of this stuff. And I didn't realize that there was other ways to live your life, and that all these things that people thought were, quote, normal, right, were just a system of control, that I was giving up my freedom and my life and my ability, that there's nothing that I have to do in life. There's nothing. Like, you don't have to do anything. You can do whatever the fuck you want, right? Now, there's some consequences for doing whatever the fuck you want, especially if you make poor decisions that are short-term decisions. But I wish someone would have told me, look, you have a blank slate, right? You can do whatever you want and decide to do in life. And I don't mean this as some, generic, oh, you can be whatever you want to be. It's not that. You can literally do whatever you want to. There's no reason, right? I mean, I started with my freedom way too late in life, right? I wish I would have known at 20 that what I could do. I would have been writing books. I would have been doing what I'm doing now, right? Like, I mean, look at what I'm doing now. Okay, I mean, I'm literally, like, my job, if there is such a thing as my job, I'm on fucking the camera on YouTube talking to 300 people, right? I'm writing a book and publishing it myself and selling it on the internet, right? And creating YouTube videos and doing all kinds of, what I mean, like crazy kind of stuff. Like this is what my life is. This is not, no one ever presented this to me as an option as a kid. Like, no, I never knew that. Like, I was like, they're like, well, do you want to be a scientist or a doctor or a computer programmer? And, nothing wrong with, I love being a computer programmer, but that's not an exclusive thing. It's like you can be a computer programmer and do a lot of other things in your life as well. And there's a lot more options. So I wish someone would have told me that early on, that you don't have to, there's no fucking mold. There's no rule. The rules are for everyone else. They're not for you, right? As much as that sounds weird, that's what I believe. All right, so let me see. It's really hard to pay attention to all the chat, so just because there's so many people. But I've got a couple of questions here that I've got picked out here. Let me see. So I just finished school and I'm having a hell of a time finding my first job. I started a blog after watching your videos, but employers keep telling me that I need experience to get hired. What to do? Okay, so this is that trick, right? You know, how do you get a job without experience? You don't get a job without experience. No one is going to hire someone without experience. So what do you do when you don't have experience? I'll tell you what you do. You make your own experience, right? There's nothing, right? Again, this is just like I said. This is just like I said about the freedom, about what I wish someone had told me. All right, which is that there's no rule. There's no rule that says you can't create your own company, and that you can't be the CEO of your own company, and that you can't build an app, right, and sell that app. Why can't you do that? Why can't you build something, right? You went to college, you're a software developer, you know how to code, right? You've got some software development skills. Why can't you build a business? Why can't you register an LLC, right? And make yourself the CEO of the company and the developer of the company, and write an app and put it in the App Store, and it's published by your company. Hell, you know what? Guess what? I'll give you a fucking little secret today. Guess who published the Complete Software Developer's Career Guide? Go look on Amazon and see who the publisher is. It's Simple Programmer LLC. Oh, did someone give me permission? Did someone say, hey, John, yeah, you can't be a fucking book publisher. You're not a book publisher. No, I said, guess what? I'm a fucking book publisher now. My company, Simple Programmer, is a publisher. It publishes books. It published a book. Oh wow. All right. So and now it's up there competing with romance novels. We're never gonna hit #1 on Kindle because of damn romance novels. It's like all these guys like with abs and shit, and then it's my ugly mug there on Complete Software Developer's Career Guide. All these women. Well, you know what? A bunch of women that are reading like Harlequin romance novels, they're gonna be like, oh, I should totally. That guy's kind of hot. I should totally become a software developer. I'm going to buy that fucking book for 99 cents. That's what I'm doing, right? So that we're going to sell a lot of books that way. All right. Oh man, this is too much fun. So anyway, so this is my point. Okay. You don't have experience. You got to make experience. So you could do that in a multitude of ways. Like I said, build your own company, build some apps, get a portfolio, actually have stuff that you've created, right? That you can show, that shows that you have experience. Another way that you can gain experience is you can go and work for someone for free. Oh my gosh, so many damn millennials. Sorry guys, but you bitch and whine about not getting paid what you're worth or not. The degree doesn't mean shit. It doesn't. You're not entitled to anything just because you fucking jumped through the hoops. You know what? You know how they train fucking dogs or they train animals at the circus? They sometimes give them a treat when they jump through. They don't give it all the time, right? That's how. So you don't get the fucking doggy biscuit all the time, all right? So just getting the degree, just jumping through the hoops, that doesn't mean shit. You actually have to provide value in this world and in your life, and you have to prove it. Because if I'm going to hire you, I'm not going to hire you based on some fucking bullshit credential. I'm not going to say, oh, well, you got a degree from Carnegie Mellon University, so you must be worthy of $100,000. No, I'm going to say, you know what? What can you fucking do? And then you say, well, I know all this shit. And I'm like, no. I didn't ask you what do you fucking know. I said, what can you fucking do? Oh, well, I can do. Well, prove it. What have you done? And if you say, oh, I haven't done shit. I've been in school. What was I supposed to do? Then I'm like, oh, I don't know. You tell me. Like, you want something from me. You want me to pay you fucking money. So you better fucking show me that you're worth paying money to. So show me something, right? So that's what, think of it this way. Like what I'm telling you now is what the guy in the suit, when you go to the interview, right? All right. And he's standing there and he's like, right? He's got a blank face, right? But everything that I told you, that's what he's thinking. He's like, what is this fucking kid doing here? right inside his face, inside his body, he's expressing what I'm saying. Okay, he's just not telling you. He's just keeping his fucking poker face, but he's really thinking that. So the reason why I'm telling you this is not to bitch at you. Okay, it's not. Honestly, I love you. Honestly, I do not. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you be successful in life and to be fruitful and multiply. I want to see that. All right. Well, I don't want to see that. All right. But my point is this. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I want you to put yourself inside that person's head, right? And say, if I were that asshole that just ranted on me and said, oh, you think you have a degree, you're entitled, right? If I were that asshole, what would I need to see? And if you figure that out, you'll have the answer to your own question, right? And so, if it's me, I just got out of college, all right? I have no real experience. I got my degree. What am I doing? I'm building shit. I'm on GitHub. I'm contributing to projects, right? I'm coming up with a plan. I'm building a portfolio. I'm making my company. I'm building apps. I'm like, shit, I got 15 apps on the App Store. They're all 99 cents. Here, you want to check out the source code? Like, let's look at that. I created this website. Hey, look at this app I created out here, right? I'm like, hey, dude, I will, trust me. Here's the thing. Why don't you hire me? I will work for you can hire me on a contract basis for 2 weeks, just a trial, and see if I am not the best developer you've ever hired in your life, okay? Or just say, look, you know what? Pay me half of what you pay normal developers. I will fucking blow them away. I will give you 6 months, all right? At the end of 6 months, I'm gone. But I want to get 6 months of experience, so I have experience on my resume, and you can pay me peanuts for 6 months, and you will get a hell of a deal. I promise you, right? I mean, these are all, like, I could spin off 500 things you could do to get a job without experience, and they're all breaking the fucking rules. They're all doing what you're not supposed to do, right? So just start thinking that way. Don't think about, I did this, so I deserve this. Think about, how can I work this system? How can I make this happen? Like, what is this other person on the other side of the equation? What do they want? And how can I become valuable and provide that to them? And if you do that, it's just fuck the job, any situation, you're going to make a shit ton of money. An entrepreneur does what I just told you, right? You don't have to be on your own and have your own business to be an entrepreneur or to have an entrepreneurial mindset. All you got to do is say, where can I provide some fucking value in the world? Where can I take some things and put them together and make value out of it for someone? And they're going to give you money for that. I promise you. That's how it works. That's how the world works. All right. That's the end of my rant. Okay. Let me see here what we got here. All right. Got some questions. All right. I know that there was a question about the JavaScript Launchpad. So I will address that really quick here. Because there's some persistence. I can appreciate persistence if it's like polite persistence. Gregory Shavers kept asking about this. So JavaScript Launchpad. This is not a course that I created myself, but it is an awesome, brilliant JavaScript course. Okay, this course is created by Tony Alicia. Okay, and it's just awesome. Okay. And we've got we added some bonus material to it. We're working with him directly. He's an awesome guy. And I just can't say enough good things about the course. Now, if you know the history, there was a fiasco with the course where someone ripped off his content, and there's a whole history behind that. I'm not going to get into that. I mean, you can search on the YouTube channel. I sent some funny emails about the whole thing. I made mistakes. I mean, fuck, learning experience. All right. I totally will chalk it up. Totally my fault. Whoa. It was a ridiculous type of situation, but the course is awesome. I mean, the new course it's a course that he's been selling for a long time that he put together. I can't say enough good things about the guy and the course. And I mean, when I listened to his course, when he told me that I was pirating his course, which again, did not intend to, but someone ripped off the course, all right, that I hired, right? I paid a shit ton of money and the time, and I can't even tell you the heartbreak of this is what it's like being Ricky vouches for him, but this is what it's like being an entrepreneur. Sometimes you do stuff, you put money into stuff and you put your heart into it, and then someone emails you and it's like, you ripped off my course. But when I listened to Tony's course, compared to the ripped off version, I was like, oh my God, this guy is good. This guy is natural. This guy is such a good teacher, and he gets it. So hell, it's got a refund on it too. I mean, hell, if you don't like you're going to be blown away. Like if you buy the JavaScript Launchpad course and you're like, I don't like this. No question. I'll send you a refund so fucking fast, because there's no way this is like, unless you're just trying to rip me off, like there's no way. Like, it's such a good course, totally worth the money. All right. So, all right, let's see here. What do we got question wise? All right, Greg, is that good enough? Did I give you your answer? All right. So, okay, here's a good one. What you talk about just-in-time learning. What is a good ratio between how much I should know well before applying and how much I would just learn in time for the job's assignments? Okay, so this is a good one. I got a really good answer for you guys here. Okay, here's the thing. This is what you got to understand about this fast-paced moving world and learning and just-in-time learning and the concept here, because I think a lot of people get confused with this. What you want to learn when you learn something today, the primary value is learning the scope of a thing, right? The broad, right? If I were going to learn, let's say a new framework, okay, I could spend get Chill Lemon Kill the fuck out of here. He's a fucking whatever. Thank you. So if I were going to learn something today, like a framework, I would not devote a bunch of time trying to study the framework. By the time I learn the entire framework, and all the intricacies and nuances of it, it's going to be too late, because now it's Angular 2. Now it's Angular whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's, oh, you're not even supposed to be using Angular now. What the fuck? You're using Angular? You should be using React. Duh. Why are you even using Angular, right? So that's why you can't do that. All right. Back in the day when I first started programming, I knew C++ inside out. I mean, I was on Top Coder. I was, reading effective C++ and learning all the intricacies of STL. And man, I was like a freaking guru, right? I was really good at C++, and I could learn and serve me well, right? Because technology wasn't moving that fast. All right, it's different now. So what you have to do now is this: if I were going to learn a framework today, all right, what I would do is I would learn this. What can it do? The general of all the scope of what are the things that you can do with the framework, right? What are all the things, like, right? So that big broad scope of it, right? Okay, that's what I would focus on. And if I were going to teach a course on it, if you've seen my Pluralsight courses, this is what I try to do. Okay, when I teach something, this is what I teach people. Okay, the 3 most valuable things that I can teach you, and this is what you should teach yourself if you want to learn just in time, if you want to learn quickly. Okay, the first thing I teach people is how to get started. Why? Because because momentum and traction is the hardest part. Getting started is often the hardest part. So if you learn how to get started, that's going to eliminate a lot of the barriers. So when you go out and learn something, you're going to teach yourself something. Go and figure out how to just get started. You want to create an Android application? Just figure out how to make Hello World. That's it. Just setting up your environment and making Hello World, and you'll feel good about yourself. You're like, man, I just made an Android app. It doesn't do shit, but I did it, right? Like that's one. All right. So I teach people that, and that's what you should teach yourself. Number 2, you want to teach what it can do, the scope of the thing. All right. So this is the broad scope of the thing. Okay. So, this is all the functionality. This is what this framework can do, and this is what it cannot do. And then the third thing is the 20% that you're going to use 80% of the time. So in any framework, any technology, anything that you do, there's going to be 20% of it that you're going to use for 80%. That's going to make you 80% effective in that, right? And you don't learn that other 80%. That's where you use just-in-time learning, right? So I could be, I've never really programmed in React, but I guarantee you I could be programming in React next week by doing that, right? I would just learn enough about React to know how to get started, okay, how to make a Hello World in it. Then I would learn just enough to understand what the scope of it, what does it do? What is this? What's the point of this technology? What kind of things can I do with it, and what kind of things can I create with it? And then I'd say, okay, what is the 20% that gives me 80% effectiveness? And I can find that. I can find that in the books and the things, the courses, and the people that teach it, and what are the things that people, and I can ask an expert, right? What do I need to do? Show me some basics, all right? And then here's the thing. This is where the just-in-time learning comes in, is now you know what to Google. Okay, I'm not even fucking kidding. I know some of you are like, are you serious? No. Yes, I'm serious. Now you know what to. knowing what question to ask is the most important thing in learning, right? We live in a world now where we've got in our pockets, right? We've got a phone, we've got a supercomputer connected, a hive mind, right, to all the knowledge in the fucking universe, right, in our pocket. So all we have to do is know the right question to ask. And if you don't know the right question to ask, then you're screwed. And this is why learning is so hard, right? But that's why I focus on those three things: on getting started, on knowing what the scope is, and the 20% that will give you the 80% is because when you, that middle one, knowing what the scope is, knowing what is possible, the overview, that's what gives you the ability to be able to ask the right questions. And so that's where you learn, like, oh, well, how do I do this in this language or this framework? Okay, but I know what question to ask, right? If I didn't know if it has that capability or you know, the general dynamics, enough of the broad overview, then I can't do that. So that's why, you know, you're almost skimming, right? You're skimming a technology. And then, like, just like if you skimmed a book, right? Like if you pick up my massive tome here, right? And you skim this book, right? And you go through the table of contents maybe, right? And you look through there, right? And you skim it and you look at all the chapter headings and you're like, okay, then guess what? You don't have to read this whole fucking thing. You should read the whole fucking thing. It's pretty funny, especially the Hey John sections. But what you could do is you could say, hey, you know what? I was wondering how to dress as a software developer for my interview. I remember seeing something in here. I think this book contains that information, and now I can go and read that information. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing, right? A framework, a technology. I know what's in it. I read the table of contents, so I know what questions to ask, and I know where to find the answers, right? There you go. So, all right. Let's see. Dexter Williams says, I'm not happy John is giving away all my competitive secrets. And this is such a secret. I will rant on this one more time. When people say, John, how can you do 55 Pluralsight courses in like 2 years and teach like a programming language in 2 weeks and just learn a programming language and teach it? You must be a fraud. You must be bullshit. And I'm like, well, first of all, look at the reviews on my Pluralsight courses and see that most of them are like 5 stars. And second of all, I just did what I just told you. and I teach someone effectively because I don't try to teach them every, remember when you used to buy the other 800-page books, right? Most of the technology 800-page books you see in technology section, what are they? They're a fucking reference manual for the entire language, right? There's like, I have the complete SQL book, and it's like, what is that? That's I didn't learn anything from that thing. It's just a reference. It's good for a reference, but you're not going to learn shit, right? What you got to focus on application, on what you actually need to actually apply to be able to use. All right, let's see here. If you're not sharing your knowledge, you're selfish. I fucking agree with that. That is true. All right, let me see some questions here. Okay, so I'll address this one real quick from Richard Tanner. He says, I'm 37-year-old attempting to make a career change from law enforcement to software development. I do not have a bachelor's degree, so my learning has been self-taught. Do you have any advice? In your particular situation, Richard, I would highly advise a coding boot camp. Again, I've got a whole section in Complete Software Developer's Career Guide where I talk about the different choices between, you know, college and self-taught and boot camp. And with you being 37, with you having a lot of life experience, with you being in law enforcement, so I hope you have some discipline. I would assume you do. Go and kick ass at a boot camp, right? Like, be the best. And here's the thing. This is my boot camp strategy. I just did a video on this. It'll be coming out soon, but I'll give you the quick recap of this. If I'm enrolling in a boot camp, right? A lot of people say, oh yeah, boot camps, I don't know. There's no guarantee. It's a waste of money. It's 10 grand or 15 grand. And, you know, there's no guarantee you're going to get a job and whatever. Bullshit. You know why? Because if I'm enrolling in a boot camp, I'm doing two things. One, I'm investigating. I'm finding out what the best boot camp is. Due diligence. Hello. I'm going to find the best one that I can. And then guess what? When I go in that boot camp, I'm going to be the fucking best person in that boot camp. I am going to, because you know what? I know the #1 person that graduates from that boot camp is getting a job. I know it, because that boot camp would not be in existence, and it would not be the best boot camp if at least the #1 person. Now, will the #2 person get a job? Probably. #3, probably. Will the last person, the guy that's like, I got my boot camp diploma, so you got to get me a job. No, he's not getting shit. That's where that that guy, I'm not going to go off on a rant again, but that's where that rant comes in, right? But the number one guy, he's getting the job. Okay. So go to the boot camp and then say, I don't care what it takes. I don't care if I have to work 20 hours a day and sleep for 4 hours. I'm fucking going to be the best person who comes out of this boot camp, or I'm going to die. That's it. That's it. In fact, why don't you take that same mentality, right, and apply that to everything you do in your life? Imagine how your life would change if you did that. Imagine if you attacked everything like a fucking bulldog. Like there is no possibility that you're going to be beaten or fail. That you are going to give it your all, right? There's so many things right now in your life that you're not succeeding at because you're fucking wishy-washy, because you're on the fence, because you're like, well, you know what? I'm going to give it my best effort. And then all you can do is try. Bullshit. You can say, I am going to be number one if it kills me, right? You can, if you really want it. I always ask this question, how bad do you want it? If you want it bad enough, that's the answer. And in this case, like I said, I mean, I would do it. Go do a boot camp and go and be the best. Right? And maybe you're not going to be the best, right? Maybe you'll be number 2 or maybe number 3. Okay. Cause maybe there'll be some, you know, whatever in there and you're not going to be that guy. Right. But try and be the best as much as you can. And you're still going to be successful. If you apply that, you'll be successful. Well, maybe you have to go to boot camp twice. Then do it. How bad do you want it? That's what I ask. Do I even lift, bro? No, I don't even lift, bro. All right. Hey, Ricky. Good to see you, man. Thank you. I'm glad to help you. Can you read the book on an iPad? Yeah, with the Kindle app on an iPad, yes, you can, definitely. And eventually it'll come out in the Apple Store as well. All right. Let me see. I've got some more questions I've got queued up here. Okay. Here's a good one from Danny. Danny Pepin. He says, I feel like going the entrepreneur way, I won't live life enough since I would be working a lot and get a lot of regrets. What do you think of that? I think that is a story that you're telling yourself. I think that's bullshit, and you know it, right? But I am going to give you a real answer. First, I'm going to give you a bullshit answer. Not a bullshit answer, but I'm going to give you a raw answer, which is this. It's like that you're telling yourself a story. You know that this isn't true, okay? You know that it's false, that this is a lot of times in life what we do is we tell ourselves stories, we make up things to make ourselves feel better. Like you've got this, okay, you've got this burning. You know what I'm talking about? All right, you got this burning in your stomach, right? Okay? And it's not just because you ate bad Mexican food. It's you just got this, like, you feel like, oh, I need to do this, right? And you feel like that. And then you know what you do? You're like, I need some excuse, need some reason, right? So you're like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that, right? So you decide, oh, I'm not going to be an entrepreneur because it'll take up too much of my time, right? And it kind of makes that burning go away a little bit, but you still got that burning. It's still there, right? And so you got to try and cut through all the bullshit in your life that's telling you that you can't do stuff and giving you excuse, letting you off the hook, right? I want to point to videos. I'm so used to pointing to videos. I did a video on letting yourself off the hook. But if someone wants a link to that, you could do that. By the way, yeah, if someone is a real genius here and is like watches all my videos, as I mentioned topics, if you want to find videos and link to them, that'd be pretty good. There is no such thing as bad Mexican food. I agree with that. I agree with that, Lily. All right, so off topic, except Chipotle. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, all right. So here's the thing. Okay, so we do this all the time. We deceive ourselves, right? But we feel this burn, and you can detect this. The reason why I'm starting off with this is because you can detect this when you are telling yourself a story that's bullshit when you still got that burning, right? It's justification. It's letting yourself off the hook. But I'll say this, okay? Being an entrepreneur, there's a thing, the way that I like to, people always ask me about work-life balance and all this shit, and I don't believe in it. I believe that you have a life. And I believe that if you're living your life in the way such that you are like working from 9 to 5, and then you're waiting for the clock to tick down, and then finally like you live a few hours a day of your real life after work is done, and weekends maybe, then that sucks. That's not life, right? You should incorporate it all together. And so, but there are phases, there's seasons of life, what I call seasons of life. And what I mean by this is, like, if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, if you want to be successful as anything, right, in anything that you're trying to do, it's going to take a lot of fucking hard work, right? This is not a popular. It's funny when people like critique my channel and they're like, he just tells people what they want to hear. I'm like, no. I do you want to hear that it's going to be fucking hard work and you're going to have to pay your fucking dues? I don't know if you want to hear that, but that's what the truth is, right? So there's no easy way. But I will tell you this. This is what life and being successful is like. It's like this, all right? It's like pushing a boulder up a hill, okay? And you're pushing and it's hard. And guess what happens if you take a break? The fucking boulder crushes you and you roll back down to the bottom of the hill. And guess what happens if you don't push enough, or you go out drinking with your buddies, boom, the boulder rolls you back down the fucking hill, all right? That's what life is like. But you push that little by little. You're making progress. You're pushing that boulder up and up the hill. What am I doing here? I don't know. But you're pushing it up the hill, right? It gets to the top of the hill. And after it goes to the top of the hill, it rolls down. Okay? Now you're riding the boulder down the hill. Now you're like doing one of these, riding the boulder down the hill. Okay? And it's easy. And it's got momentum on its own. It's not fighting against you. It's going the direction you want to go. This is success. This is, I mean, some of you would say that this is the phase that I'm at right now. I don't have to do shit. You know what I'm doing is the boulder's rolling down the hill, and I'm like, guess what? When something's got fucking momentum and you keep on pushing on something that has momentum, you give it even more momentum, right? Have you ever had a merry-go-round, right? And you get it's hard to get the merry-go-round spinning, right? It's hard to get it spinning. But once it spins, then you start doing this, right? You start doing this, and the little girl in the middle starts getting sick, and she's like, let me off this thing, right? And you're just like, and it's so easy to make it go fast. As fast as you can move your hands, you can make it go faster and faster. That's what I'm doing in my life right now, okay, with Simple Programmer, because my boulder's rolling down the hill. I don't have to work a day in my life anymore. I don't have to work very hard. But you do if you're getting started. Because you haven't pushed the boulder up the hill yet. And a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of successful people, what they'll tell you in life is they'll say, they'll be in interviews, and these people mean well, and some of them are a ton more successful than me, so I'm not trying to knock them, but they forgot something, right? Because people will say, well, what advice would you give yourself, in your 20s or your younger self? And they say, I wouldn't work so hard. I realize I don't need to work so hard. And it's bullshit. They forgot what got them there. They had to pay the dues to get to where they are. Wherever you're at, right? There's a really good quote. I love this quote. It's an unattributed quote. Think like a Spanish proverb or something. And it says, take what you want, but pay for it, said God. Take what you want, but pay for it. So there's a price, right? You're not getting a free lunch. You're not getting a free ticket, a free buy, right? So everyone that you think is getting that's no, their boulder's rolling on the fucking hill, or they've pushed it far up, but it's coming back down to crush them. One of those two things is happening with them, right? But if you want to get there, like if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's going to be hard work. You want to be successful in anything, it's going to be hard work. You're going to have to push that boulder up the hill, but you don't have to do it for your whole life, right? So when I bought my freedom, when I unmortgaged my life, when I did a ton of Pluralsight courses and put in all this time investing in real estate and building up Simple Programmer from the beginning, it was a whole lot of fucking time, and it was a whole lot of work, and I didn't have a life, and I worked like a dog. I worked some days, 16, 17, 18-hour days, right? Some weeks I worked the entire week. I mean, I still do sometimes, but I enjoy it now. I have the freedom to do it, right? So that's all I'm saying. Is like, don't feed yourself the bullshit lie that you're not going to have a life if you're an entrepreneur. Do two things. One, realize that, yes, you're going to have to put in the work, and you're going to have to sacrifice something. It's going to be some years of your life. Just do it. If you work hard, okay, I'll give this to any of you out there. If you just say, I'm going to take 5 years, like pretend like you're going to prison, right? Pretend like you're going to prison. Just say, look, for 5 years, I am going to be a dull boy. I am all work and no play. I'm just going to grind my ass for 5 fucking years, whatever I'm trying to do, right? You want to be a professional poker player? Grind your ass for 5 years, right? You want to be a world-class software developer? Grind your ass for 5 years. You want to be a famous YouTuber? Grind your ass for 5 years. Whatever it is, if you just say, I'm going to grind my ass for 5 years, okay? Like I'm in prison. I'm giving away 5 years of my life. You're going to be damn successful. And then you're done. You paid it. You paid the dues. But some people drag it out over their whole fucking life. That's a miserable way to live. And you don't even make it. You don't even make it. Just pay the damn price. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, recognize that you're going to have that season and you're going to have to pay that price. And then the second thing I'd say is go and live the life at the same. You know what? I said you had to be in prison, but you don't have to be in prison because you know what? You can grind it out. This is something that I did learn, which is you can grind it out and you can love every moment of it. You can love the grind, baby. You can love the grind. You can listen to some Grant Cardone stuff. That he's an old ass motherfucker, but he loves the grind. He does. This guy is like, he is. If I have a role model in life, it's Grant Cardone. I'll tell you why. Because he loves the grind. He is not trying to escape it. He's not trying to escape hard work. He loves it. And because he's decided to love it. So that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You can actually enjoy the 5 years of hard work, and you can enjoy your whole life if you just choose to. You can choose to. You can choose to never accept loss. Love the grind, baby. All right, boba. All right. All right, so let's see. What do we got here? What about tossing salads? You can toss your own salad. All right. If you can toss your own salad, maybe you got something. I don't know. Should I respond if people make fun of me or tease me at work, my hair, personality, etc.? That's a good question. I like that. Should you respond if people make fun of you? I got to answer this based on context, right? So what is the context, right? I mean, okay, so should you let people making fun of you, should you let that influence who you are and how you behave? I don't think so, right? There's a term called self-actualization, right? Maslow actually came up with this term, which perfectly describes a lot of the philosophy that I have here on the YouTube channel, which I didn't even realize there was this term. But a self-actualized person they're not trying to impress anyone. They don't care what other people think. Okay. So you've got to be coming from that reference, right? Because if I tell you, oh yeah, when people make fun of you at work, you need to stand up for yourself, but you're doing it because you care what other people think, and that's why you're doing it, then you're just a puppet. You're just feeding into it. It doesn't matter. You're still nothing. Like you're still reactive. Okay. But if you come from a place of strength, of self-respect of yourself, and you're like, hey, there's certain things that I'm not going to tolerate in my life. And if this person says something to me, they're making fun of me at work, I'm going to stand my ground, right? And however that could be, it depends on who you are, right? I mean, and it depends on who they are. It's very contextual, but that's why I'm not giving you an exact phone. That's why I'm saying, like, you have to be coming from, you could pee in their face, right? You have to come from a place of security of yourself, of not trying to impress people, not trying to care what people think, right? And from that frame, then you can make a decision and decide what to do, right? I mean, maybe if someone's making fun of me, maybe I say, hey, that's cool. Let's go outside. Let's go outside and handle this. You got a problem with me? It's cool. It's cool. I don't care if you got a problem with me, but let's go outside. Right? Maybe that's an answer. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm like, maybe I don't even care. Maybe they're so irrelevant to me that I just totally ignore them and don't care at all. Right? Maybe what I do is like I think I did a YouTube video where I talked about where someone said, oh, what if someone makes fun of me? And I said, well, maybe I walk up to the guy and I unbutton his top button from his shirt and I say, I like you better like that. And he's just doesn't know how to react, right? I mean, there's a lot of ways to do that. But what I'm saying is that You have to, all of these, like there's 1,000 answers, but it all has to come from a place of self-assurance and security in yourself, right? That's what it comes to. So if you're at work and people are making fun of you, I could give you an answer to say, here's the answer I would give you, right? Where you need to start from, because if you're worried about this, right, you'll know what to do when you're ready. Okay, unbutton his fucking shirt now. Okay, so you'll know what to do when you're ready. And here's what I would say. Okay, in order to figure this out, ignore other people. Like you need to like figure out where you're going in life, and you need to be so focused on what you're doing and where you're going in life that it doesn't, it's noise, right? This person's making fun of you. You don't even have time for that shit because you're so focused on and driven in what you are trying to accomplish and do in life. And if you become that kind of person, you'll know how to act. You'll know how to react to that. You can handle, then you'll have a myriad of ways. You'll have a whole smorgasbord of ways to handle that however you choose, because you'll be coming from a place because someone who's driven, someone who knows what they want and is getting what they want out of life and going after what they want in life, that is a person who is unfazed by what other people do and has options. So that's where, I know this is kind of a quasi answer, but honestly, you have to come from that place. And then there's a 1,000 possibilities that are open to you. But if you don't come from that place, whatever you do is going to be wrong, because whatever you're going to do is going to be reactive, right? Reactive is always wrong. You're being manipulated. You are not free when you're reactive. You are being controlled. You're like a puppet being controlled by someone else because they're pushing your buttons. All right. Do I take steroids? No. How many times do I have to go over this? I just did a video and I challenged someone. I actually challenged someone. I said, you can come to my house, okay? You can monitor me for 24 hours or 48 hours, however, right, and film it. And you can see that I do work out for 2 hours, what I do, and you can come in and you're going to have to fucking work out. You're going to have to run. I'm going to drag your ass fucking running in the morning or going to the gym and lifting for 2 hours. But you can come do it and you can see, right? That's all I can do. All right. That's all I can tell you guys is if you want to believe that John's taking steroids, fucking believe it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. All right. But if you want to come and witness it, if you want to come and bust your ass, you come in San Diego, I'll bust your ass with a workout and you can watch. You know what? You can examine my body and look for needle marks. No, you can't do that. All right. Some of you might. No. All right. Let's see. Imposter syndrome, how to stay out of it or how to deal with it. This is from Lucas. So imposter syndrome, if you're not familiar with imposter syndrome, it's basically this idea that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve where you're supposed to be, that you're an imposter, and that you've got everyone fooled. Well, let me tell you something. You should always be struggling with imposter syndrome. You know what? I'm not qualified to be doing a YouTube live stream with 364 people and to have a YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers on it. I ain't qualified for that. I'm just some dumbass that is spouting off some shit. Okay, that's the truth. Like in a way, right? But none of us have. We're all imposters. We all have so many layers of bullshit. So many layers of bullshit, right? We all have that. Every single person that you have is that you know in your life. Every CEO, they're an imposter. We're all bullshit. We're so many layers of bullshit before you get to the core, all of us, that we should not be worrying about being imposters, because we're all wearing masks. You should be trying to rip off as many masks as possible and find your true self and try to actually become who you are, right? This is something that Nietzsche said, is you need to become who you are. So you shouldn't be worrying about being an imposter, right? In fact, here's the thing, right? If you're getting into situations all the time where you feel like you're an imposter, those are growth opportunities. This is good, right? What you don't want to do, you don't want to be in a job where you're like, or a position or area in your life where you're just comfortable, where you're just like, this is easy shit. I'm the king master. I like crossword puzzles. Fuck crossword puzzles. I can do crossword puzzles. I am the shit at crossword puzzles, right? You want to be like, you want to pick up the crossword puzzle and be like, do people actually do this? Do they actually know the answers to this stuff. Like, who does this, right? You want your life to be like that, like hard, like where every part of your life is like, I don't think I'm qualified for this, but I'm doing it anyway. I don't know how to launch a book, but my book is like number, what is it, 35 on all of Amazon. I never fucking launched a book. I don't know how. No one told me. We just figure shit out, right? Maybe I would have failed, but I failed a lot in my life. So you see what I'm saying? Like, like we're all imposters. We're all just figuring shit out. And if you're in the place in your life where it's so comfortable, right? Where you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. You're not great. If you're like, man, I'm like those people that do Sudoku puzzles all the time, right? And you're like, why the fuck are you doing Sudoku puzzle? Is that even challenging at all? It's not. Like, it's like you're just like, it makes you feel good because it's something that you can do that's easy. That's no, no. Go find the thing. Go find the thing that is hard, that you're not qualified for, right? Go get the job. Go get the job and be like, I can't believe I got a job as a senior software developer. It's insane. I don't know shit. I am not qualified like these guys that asked me in the interview, but I'm going to try my fucking hardest at this job and I'm going to take that paycheck and I am going to learn like a motherfucker, right? I'm going to learn and figure this shit out. And this scares me. It scares me so bad. That's life. That's growth. This is what you want to do. So if you feel like an imposter, you're going the right direction. If you feel like you got this shit mastered and you are all high and mighty and everyone is below you, you're taking it too easy. You could be growing. You could be having a much better life and challenging yourself, right? So you got to do this. You got to be an imposter. You got to feel like an imposter. You got to realize everyone else is bullshit anyway. And you got to pick the challenging, the hard situations that are gonna make you really question whether you deserve to be here or are qualified for this shit or not. And every time in my life where I've done that, I've grown, right? I mean, who told me, right? I mean, think about this. Like, I want you to understand from my frame of reference, right? When I started creating a public persona, do you know how many people made fun of me? Do you know how many people were like my friends and family? And when I started making YouTube videos, and they're like, "Oh, you think you're some kind of fucking sage or something?" Right? And they told, right? They're like, what do you make you think you're qualified to do that? Oh, you got like 20 subscribers on YouTube? Okay, right? Like, or when I decide to write a book, or when I decide to blog, or when I decide to get on podcasts or do any of that stuff or give people advice, right? And there's still people that do that. So I felt like an imposter, but I fucking did it anyway, and it made me scared, but I still did it. And then you know what ended up happening? Now you look at me, some of you, and you're like, oh wow, John, like, yeah, John's this, YouTube guy or whatever, however you view me. I mean, you always have everyone has their own view, right? But at some point, that was not taken for granted. That was like the imposter. So I had to go there. I had to do the thing that I was not qualified for, that everyone would make fun of me for, that everyone thought that I was not, that would make me feel like an imposter, in order to not become an imposter. All right. And I'm constantly doing that. As I'm expanding and going to different areas. All right. I'll give you guys, we're going over, but you know what? 20 more minutes. I will give you till 7:30 Pacific time. All right. Cause I'm having some fun here. Let's see here. All right. I wish I could get to everyone's questions, but all right. I've got a few more questions because we've got 20 minutes. I'll give you, and then I got to go. All right. Removing distractions and creative. Okay. Removing distractions. Oh, no. Oh, let me see this. Okay. All right. Stackflow says, with all the crazy political culture going on, what are your thoughts on social media and bias discrimination affecting opportunities in dev in tech? This is a good one. I love this question. So first of all the political crazy shit going on, do not get involved in that. Like, why? Do you want to accomplish shit with your life? Does knowing anything about politics, will that ever, like, aside from being on Jeopardy someday, will that ever benefit you in your life? Or is it just a fucking waste of time? Answer me. I mean, is this true or not? Is it true that, like, knowing all the kind of like crap that's going on, I don't know, with Trump or whatever, you know, whoever you're following, right? Will knowing all that information and following that shit, right, ever be any benefit for you? Or, John, you're Shane from Walking Dead. I appreciate that. I like Shane from Walking Dead. All right, but will that be any benefit to you at all? Zero. It's just wasted time. Not only is it wasted time, I'll put this forward. It's draining your emotional energy. Okay? And you only have so much of it. And I'll tell you, here's an experiment that you can do. Okay? Go into work all fresh and ready, all right, to work. And then instead of working, okay, be ready. But instead of working, I want you to look at your sickening fucking political Facebook feed full of a bunch of people that are jackasses posting crap that pisses you off. I want you to do that for 30 minutes. Now, do you feel like you've been working for 4 hours? Do you? And that's why you're not getting shit done. It's not just because you're wasting the time. Because see, here's the thing. When you waste the time on Facebook following the political stuff or going to CNN, or I don't know why'd you go to CNN, but if you go to news sites, right, and you read some shit, it's not the 30 minutes you wasted reading the news sites and the social media. It's not that. That's not where the time goes. It's the emotional energy sap, right? It's the negativity. It's the pessimistic, cynic viewpoint that what you put in is what comes out. I can't say this enough times. What you put in is what comes out. It's not only is what comes out, it's what you become. What you put in is what you become. You cannot escape this principle, this law of reality. What you put in is what you become. If you put in crap, you're going to become crap, and you're going to put out crap. And so it's not just the 30 minutes that you're wasting, okay? What it is, and see, someone saying CNN is better than Fox. Fuck that. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. This is the whole point, okay? The whole point is this. What you put in, you spend that 30 minutes, you use that emotional energy, okay? And now you don't feel like putting in your effort into work. Now you just feel glum and bad, and you don't know why. You're not connecting this. You're not like, I don't know why I don't feel like doing any work today, or I'm not productive. You don't realize it's because you've been reading garbage tabloid shit, right? Because all of political news today is tabloid shit. I don't know if you've recognized and realized what's happened to this world, but it's not news, it's tabloids. You are a fucking pawn. You're being used. Stop it. All you have to do is not go. All you have to do is not look at it. All you gotta do is turn off Facebook. All you gotta do is turn off Twitter. All you gotta do is not go to fucking news site or watch it on TV and get your work done and get your shit done and do what you're supposed to do. Okay? So that's the whole thing. Is it's not that you're just wasting the 30 minutes doing that. It's that you're draining, you're sapping your emotional energy, and you're putting into yourself garbage that's making you feel like garbage and making you feel like the world's unfair and discrimination and bullshit and all this. And you're getting so worked up and you're like, this world is so shitty, right? How are you going to operate with that kind of attitude? No. You know what you need to do? Go and fucking read Tony Robbins' books. Go and read The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Go read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Go read As a Man Thinketh by Seth Abel, right? Go read books like that. Go read Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. Go read positive shit that makes you feel good. Go read some Eckhart Tolle if you are into that, if you like that, right? I don't care what it is. Bring positive stuff into your life, and you're going to be positive. So to answer the second part of that question about discrimination, this is what I think about discrimination. Fucking try and discriminate against me. That's what I think. So I think, you know what? It happens. It happens. People get discriminated against. The deck is stacked against you. So many areas of my life, the deck has been fucking stacked against me. And you know what I've said when someone stacks the deck against me? I'm going to say, you're going to have to fucking try really hard to take me down, motherfucker. Right? I remember being a little runt in school, and I remember the bully, right? And I remember fucking like, I said to him, I said, you're going to have to knock me down until I don't get up, because I don't care how many fucking times you hit me, I'm getting up. And that's it. That's it. That's how you deal with discrimination, is you just say, try and tase me, bro. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't stop it. You can't You can say, oh, that's not fair. And the world will say, oh, you're right, it's not fair, but it's not going to change anything. And so what can you do? You can overcome, be an overcomer, be a person that says, a challenge? I like a fucking challenge. Give me a fucking challenge. Be that kind of person. Then you don't have to worry about discrimination. Then you don't get all sick. It doesn't make you sick in your stomach. It makes you excited. You're like, sometimes I'm like, man, this person is discriminating against me. I am really actually in the South or whatever it is, right? I mean, you know, I totally get discriminated against. I mean, no one even knows what I am, right? But they're just like, you're not a fat white dude, right? When I'm in Alabama or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm throwing out ridiculous stuff here, but my point is, rise to the challenge. This is the attitude to have. I'm not agreeing with discrimination. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying what you can do pragmatically and practically to make your life better. And that's what it is. And bring positive stuff in your life. All right. All right. Are you coffee right now? I'm not coffee right now. I am not. I'm just high on life. This is it. This is what you want to have. Have fucking live your life enthusiastically, right? Why not? You can just choose to do it. All right. Let's see here. Okay, removing distractions and creating a productive, focused environment. What's your approach? Also, standing desks do you recommend? Okay, so let's break this down a little bit here. So, removing distractions and creating a focused environment. Yes, right? Remove distractions, like turn off notifications on shit. I removed all social media apps from my phone. Okay, I have eliminated as much of that as possible. I turn off distractions, any kind of notifications on my watch or my cell phone or anything like that. And I just focus on the thing that I'm trying to do. Use something, use an app, right? I've got a video. I can't link to a video, but if I could, I would be linking. In fact, you know, you guys, if you're ever searching for something, you want to know what does John think about this? Because I have like 1,600 videos. If you just go to the YouTube channel and you just hit there's like a little search, but it's kind of hard to find. But if you hit that little search thing, you type in a topic, you're probably going to find a video on it. And I have one on how I plan my week. It's fairly old, but what I use is I use the Pomodoro technique, and I use it to focus. So I'm focusing on one thing at a time. This is really, really critical. So yes, so remove distractions. Make sure that, I mean, this is really, really important. The more that you focus, the better off it is. I mean, and look at this, right? I'm trying to, I finally starting to get the hang of it, because what am I doing? I'm putting my hand here over where you guys are chatting, because I'm sorry. I'm kind of glancing here, and I love you all, and I love what you guys are saying, but I can't do that and focus on speaking. And I was having trouble at the very beginning. It still is hard, right? And you can see it. It's difficult to do. So, you know, Josh is fielding me some questions, and that's where we got a system already working out here. All right. So you got to have focus. Otherwise you're going to be screwed. As far as standing desk, I have a standing desk here. Do you know the one I recommend? It's called Autonomous. I'm not getting paid to say this, but that's the one I have here, and it goes up and down. How's that? Look at that. Oh, you guys are getting, oh, you want some abs? No, sorry. No. Anyway, I've got this autonomous desk here, right? And it was like $500, and I just stand all day long. I just like to stand. I thought I was gonna go up and down. Now I just use it to make the camera go up and down on my desk. But I literally stand. I've got a chair. I don't use a chair. I like standing. It's great. It's not even tiring at all. And it's I expected fully that I would want to sit down. So, you know, can it go over a treadmill? You could do, I used to have a treadmill, and I put my laptop on there, and I would walk while I was working. And that is actually kind of like, you actually don't feel like doing it like after some time. I mean, that's probably a better way to burn some calories if you want to do that. But I think for the long term, a standing desk is better, just because you'll do it, right? And this is coming from someone who does it, right? Who like is not easily discouraged from stuff. But there was just enough of a friction that it wasn't worth even going slow. You know, I put on the incline and stuff. So I do have to answer this real quick, because I just saw this, and they said, have you read Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone? What do you think about it? I fucking love it. Awesome book. Yes. All right, read that book. All right, I got to get Grant Cardone on the YouTube channel. So I've gotten a lot of pretty high profile. I got MJ DeMarco. That was an awesome interview. If you guys saw that, he was one of my favorite authors. He just emailed me today and he's like, bro, like people are mentioning your videos on my forum. Like you're killing it, man. So I was like, oh, that's cool. That's awesome. So, I mean, like someone who's like a role model to me to email me and be like, you're killing it. That's cool. I was humbled. I felt pretty awesome. All right, let's look at some questions here. Oh, we're almost out. We got 10 minutes. All right. Oh, here. Okay. So I'm skipping a few questions. What do you do when you feel like shit? What do I do when I feel like shit? What do I honestly do when I feel like shit? I forget everything that's important in life and all the wisdom that I have in my head. It disappears. Honestly, that's what happens. And then somehow when I stop feeling sorry for myself and I get out of that, I remember the wisdom and I remember that, guess what? Guess when you do feel like shit the least? When you're kicking ass and getting shit done. And so when you feel like shit, you don't feel like doing anything and you feel hopeless and you feel like the only thing that's good in life is as what's her name? Was it Kelly? Lily would say some Mexican food, right, Lily? Some Mexican food. That's the only thing that's good in life when you feel like shit is some Mexican food, because Mexican food is always good. All right. So when you feel like shit, you feel hopeless. You feel like the only thing as good is the next meal, right? Something that you can look forward to, but you forget that the times like the times when you feel the best is not, Lily agrees. All right. The times when you feel the best is not when everything's necessarily going your way. And it's not when you're lying on the beach and doing nothing. It's when you just like got out of that zone of focus and you just accomplished something with your life, right? And you just worked hard. And so when I'm feeling like shit and I don't feel like doing anything, I just force myself to get working on something. And I get it done. I feel good about myself. I can't beat myself up. You know what? When you're working really hard, you know, it's really hard to be depressed and work really hard at the same time because you're too fucking busy. It's hard to be pissed off at the world. It's hard to do, like, have you ever been solving a really hard bug, right? And you're in the debugger and like 6 hours goes by and you're not thinking about anything. You're just thinking about that problem. Okay. That's all you're thinking about. You're working hard. And when you solve that bug, right? When you check in that code and you make that unit test for that bug and you're like, right, how good do you feel? Do you feel good? You feel good. So what you got to remember when you're feeling like shit, when you're not feeling motivated, because you're not always going to feel motivated and you're going to feel like shit and you're not going to feel like doing some work, is go find some mountain to climb, baby. Go find a mountain to climb and climb that mountain, right? Like Eli, the computer guy, I just saw him hiking up a mountain and I think he got in a little over his head, maybe a little bit, but he went and climbed a mountain, didn't he? So go climb a mountain. Go find a mountain to climb. And when I do that, right, then I don't feel like shit anymore. That's how it works. So, you know, and I'll say this, right? It's like again, I'll go back to what I said before also. What you put in is what you become. I don't know a lot of people that feel like shit at Tony Robbins. Okay, granted, I don't expect all of you to go to Tony Robbins seminars, and sometimes a little bit of it is a little bit out there for even me, and there's a lot of groupies and whatnot. But if you go to like a UPW or a Date with Destiny or Tony Robbins seminar, it is a positive environment, okay? People are not feeling like shit there, all right? They're taking in a lot of good, a lot of good stuff coming in. So do that. That's what, if you're around positive all the time, you're going to be positive. Promise. It's going to happen. So you got to bring in a lot of good stuff. Like have a good reading list of good stuff that lifts you up, that empowers you, that makes you feel good, motivational, inspirational, right? Man, I saw that David Coggins interview. Did you guys see that? I think I'm doing a video on that. The David Coggins interview, where the guy, the CEO of Quest Nutrition, interviewed him and they clipped it up. But man, he got me so psyched up. I love that shit. Like, that's what you got to feed yourself. That's, you know, and when it all doesn't work, just grind out. You know, remember, like, have this in your head, right? Is that this too shall pass. So you got to live your life. You got to go on. You got to push on. You got to keep on going like you don't feel like shit, right? Pretend like you don't feel like shit and actually like function and work and work at that level. And this too will pass. That's what I do, honestly. And here's the other thing. I'll tell you one last thing about this. What if your family is very negative? Then avoid them as much as possible. Okay? And be the positive, right? Be like, if your family is really negative, and your environment's really negative, you have to be super positive, right? You got to be fucking Sally Sunshine. All right? You got to be like, it's Monday, right? You got to like read a ton of positivity books. Go pick up Awaken the Giant Within. Honestly, I'm going to recommend Tony Robbins stuff because some of you guys need that. Go and read that book and be like so empowered and be like, man, I got to share this with you. And your dad's going to be like, that's fucking Tony Robbins bullshit guy. What, are you going to join a cult now? You drinking the Kool-Aid? And you're like, yes. Just be like, yeah, I love it. It's awesome, right? And he's like, you know, you need to fucking get a real job. Like, what the fuck? And you're like, all right, man, cool. Awesome, right? Like, if you keep on doing that, people will crack. They can't, like, it's contagious, right? I mean, some of you are feeding off of my energy right now, right? You're like, man, I feel kind of good right now because John is all fucking psyched up. It works. Okay, you can change it. It's hard. In order to flip the polarization, you got to be extreme, but fill yourself with good stuff. Start reading good stuff, positive stuff. Be that person, and your life changes. Right? I was just talking the other day, and I was just saying, like, it's amazing. I used to have a life where a lot of time I was like thinking about how people were treating me unfairly, and I was like disgruntled and miserable, and like, oh, this person did this to me, and upset about all this stuff and stuff that's going on. And I was just thinking the other day, I was like, that I never think that at all anymore. There's hardly a negative thought that goes through my head anymore. Honestly, I just live in a state of constant, like, not that I don't have a roller coaster, right? I mean, there's ups and downs, but I never feel resentful towards someone ever, because I don't need to anymore, because I just feed myself positive stuff all the time. Okay, that's the key. Like, you feed yourself positive stuff. I'm telling you. This is why I recommend a lot of the books that I recommend. All right. I think we got time for one more question. All right. Ricky had asked, how do you put in the good stuff? But I pretty much beat that horse. What is it? There's a quote on my, someone said, beat that fucking horse until it's, I don't remember what I said. I said something about that. I don't know. All right. Okay. I think that's pretty much, I'm gonna actually wrap this up with the question. So one last thing, you guys, I have to go here. You have been wonderful. Well, actually, I'll answer this one question. Should I take LSD? I don't know. That's my honest answer. I don't know. All right. No, you guys have been awesome. Okay. Really, really good questions, except for that one guy that we had to kick out of the channel. What the fuck, dude? Some people. All right. So it was great hanging out with you. I want to do more of these, but I have one big request for you, right? I mean, this is huge, right? This is like, we want to share this knowledge, right? We want to, like, one of the great things about the Complete Software Developer's Career Guide is that it's got so many damn links in this book that go to the YouTube channel that give people what they really want, right? When people ask me what I do, and I tell them, well, I'm kind of a motivational speaker. I'm kind of I'm a philosopher, right? I teach software developers how to be cool. I say a lot of different things, but I say that I give people what they want, and then I give them what they need, and that's what I need your help to do. So spread the message on the book. Okay, if you haven't bought a copy of this book for 99 cents, come on, and get a print copy, or get 3 of them. Like, I would, if you get 30 of them for your team, I would love to get on Skype. That's one of the things I'm giving away, and I would love to talk to you. It'd be fun. I can't do it for, you know, I've got so much time, so that's why I'm putting it behind that. And please leave a review, you know, and just you know, share the message. You know, if you feel like what I'm doing here is a worthwhile mission and it's inspiring and helping people, this is what I want to grow Simple Programmer so we can reach more people. That's what I want to do. Like I said, I could live on the beach. I don't have to be here. I don't have to do shit. My boulder is rolling down the hill, but I'm here because I honestly want to see people's lives change and reach people. And that's what I live for. That's why I get so fired up and psyched up. That's why. So help me out, and again, Complete Software Developer's Career Guide. You can check it out on Amazon, and yeah, please leave a review and share it if you can. All right. Thank you all. You've been wonderful. I will do this again sometime. If you haven't signed up for the email list, make sure you sign up so that you know when these events happen, because I'm going to try to do a live event once a month. All right. Good night, and thanks for joining.